Welcome. Are we going? Welcome.
How are we doing, Brent?
Good. How are you, Jerry Norton?
Good. Are we live?
We are live. Welcome, guys. My name is Brent Daniels, and welcome to the Real Estate Hotline Show. It's going to be really, really exciting. This show is all about, and my YouTube channel is all about this, Jerry. It is all about getting real estate entrepreneurs to six-figure months, consistent six-figure months. And that's what we're going to be talking about. That's the questions and answers that we're going to be going through. But I wanted to open up with some results because I think it's important to give some context and let people know at least the results that I've had over the year, and get your thoughts on it, Jerry, and get the thoughts from the audience, and then get into the question and answers that we're going to get into. So
while you're pulling that up, Brent, I think the motive you have or the intent you have with the show is really good. Really good because I think everybody who gets into wholesale real estate, if you don't have a minimum six figures as your monthly, top line or gross revenue, then I think you're just aiming really low. Like this should be a $100,000 a month business if you do this right. It really should.
Absolutely. Well, and that was always what stuck out in my head, Jerry, because it was like, okay, how do you get $1 million, $1 million business? How do you get a seven-figure business? And then you go, okay, what's $1 million divided by 12 months? It's like $83,333. And that's great, but why not just round up? Why not push for six figures? Yeah. Right. And so this year, let me just go through these results. This year, we have closed. This is closed deals. We have some that we are selling this week. We have some that will sell probably through the end of next week, and then it'll kind of push into January. So far, we're at 2,044,449. 2,044,449. Now, there's four main marketing channels that we used this year. All right. We did direct mail this year. And direct mail in Phoenix, Jerry, has been like the bane of my existence because I want it to work so bad. My guys love the leads when they come in, but I cannot get over a 2 times ROI. So here's the actual numbers. We made $281,460. $281,460. Okay.
Gross revenue.
Top line revenue. That's right. Okay. It cost $143,808. So that is a 2x. It cost $143,000 to make 281. All right. The next one is,
that's only 10% of your revenue.
10%. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. If I can't get a 3x after 6 months, Jerry, then it just doesn't make sense for me to keep going and keep throwing money at it. The interesting thing about direct mail that everybody should know is there's a long tail to it, right? We still get leads in every single month. We stopped doing direct mail in June and we're still getting deals as of this month. And so,
why do you think that is? Is somebody like pinning your postcard on their refrigerator because they're in foreclosure, but they're not urgent yet, and they're going to call you later?
That's exactly right. Yeah. They keep the postcards. They keep it on their kitchen counter. They keep it on the refrigerator. They keep them in the drawers, whatever. I went to one appointment, Jerry, in like 2017 because I was doing direct mail, and this guy opened up, he had like a TV stand and it had drawers in it. And he opened up 6 drawers full of mail from investors trying to buy his house. 6 full drawers. He had been keeping it for like 10 years, right? Because he was one of those guys that was like, well, at some point I'm going to get to, making a decision. And at the time I was using Tom Kroll's handwritten postcard, and it said God bless and my name like scribbled. And he called me because of that. That was the only reason that he called me, was because it said God bless. And I was just following the instructions of what I was learning in the Wholesaling Inc. coaching program. So it's that was really interesting. So again, guys, my top line revenue for 2025, $2,044,449. Mailers, I spent $143,808, made $281,460. The next one is pay per click. This is the biggest chunk of my marketing budget. All right, I've made $1,604,072. All right, $1,604,072 top line, and the cost, I've spent $405,000 this year on pay per click, Google pay per click, and so that is a 4x return on that marketing channel. That's our favorite marketing channel.
That's 80%.
Yeah,
of your revenue.
It is. Yeah, that's where, and much more. I mean, pretty close to that when it comes to the marketing budget, right? So it's that one has been huge for us. But then what we started doing, Jerry, is we started using, so Google's an interesting little world, right? It's an interesting platform because once you get results with pay-per-click, you can feed back into Google and they start getting you better and better quality leads. So the more you spend and the more that you feed back to Google, the more they know what you're looking for.
And that's why of all your marketing channels, the one that's actually building your business the most is Google Ads, because it's building on itself. Because you guys have to understand that what Google wants to serve you the results you're looking for. So it's constantly learning as you go. So the more you feed it back, hey, I want leads like this one, not like these ones, like these ones, then it's perpetually building your account and providing you better quality leads.
That's it. Because it finds the avatar. Google knows everything. If you got a Gmail account, they know everything about you. If you got a YouTube account, they know everything about you. What you search for online, they know everything about you. So they've got all these data points that they have their algorithm figure out. And you keep feeding them, hey, this is a good lead. This is a good lead. This is a good lead. That's what they find, which leads me to the most exciting new marketing channel that we've been testing out, Jerry. We've spent $7,500 because it takes a little bit of time to mature it, but it is YouTube ads. Okay. We went out, hired actors, a bunch of them.
Not AI?
Not AI. No. Actual actors that are like in their car, they're in their living room. It just felt more natural. It felt real to people. And I shot some of these ads myself. But it just, maybe we'll test out AI, but we got the actors, we got it all set up. And then with our results that we're getting, or with the feedback that we're giving Google, we put it in to the Facebook ads, and we've spent $7,500. We've closed $65,917 so far. And
on YouTube. On YouTube ads. Okay.
YouTube ads. So now I'm spending $7,500 a month. And going to be increasing that. But that one, my acquisition team really loves right now. And the last one, the fourth one, which is the most, this one is the most shocking. I had no idea this was a thing, but Google My Business. Google My Business is that map that sits in the middle section of Google searches. And it's for local businesses. And if you put reviews in there, and if you optimize your Google My Business account, you can rank 1 or 2. Now, I didn't know this, Jerry. I spent $405,000 with PPC. I've spent millions over the years with Google, and I was ranked 21st in the map pack in the Google My Business, Jerry. 21st. And then I optimized it. I had a guy that I brought in to do my SEO, search engine optimization. He is an absolute Google gangster. And he's in with my marketing agency now, and he optimized it. And we've closed $93,000. It cost me $0. $0, Jerry, to be in
Yeah.
that month and optimize it, because I had the guy doing it. And so it's absolutely incredible. I've got that guy. Guys, if you're interested in that, just before you get going, Jerry, we just released this to the with our marketing channel, but and it's blowing up. The people that are getting in there it's a one-time setup. You get it set up, you understand what you need to do to keep it optimized, and it's just leads after leads after leads, especially if you are really looking to dominate a local market.
Yeah, exactly. And Brent, it's really a lot about the reviews, isn't it? Isn't that the key to it? Yeah. So it's interesting you say this, because my hotel in Puerto Rico, we started doing this thing where we would give gift cards to the local coffee shop, like down the street, if people would leave us a review. And we would literally say, pull up your phone right now. Here's the QR code, leave the review and I'll hand you this $20 gift card. And so we started getting them, and now we're up to hundreds of these reviews, and it's ranked us. We get a ton of business now from it. And it's crazy how well that works. But and we've learned that if they'll take a picture and they'll share a picture or a video, that's even better. Google likes that even better because it's more relevancy.
Yep. Well, and when you optimize it, so there's certain things to optimize it. The name of the business really optimizes it. The amount of reviews optimize it. There's a bunch of other things that these experts really know how to optimize it. But once you have it optimized, and as long as you're keeping your reviews going,
yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's free. I mean, it's free money. I mean,
it's page one ranking. Yeah.
How else are you going to get page one ranking without paying for it, or without having to do search engine optimization for 6 to 12 months? And that's going to cost you a few $1,000s now, because Google changed their whole algorithm for that.
And really, this is stuff that everybody should be doing anyway. You should be getting testimonials from every one of your sellers anyway, and getting them to go to your Google page and leave a review if they're having a good experience. All you have to do is ask, really, and just be consistent about it. And it's amazing. I mean, we're doing that as well in our Tulsa market. And we're starting to see that that's really creating a brand established, local market expert in that area.
Well, first, the level of trust is through the roof. I mean, absolutely through the roof when it comes to people that are calling on that. And the stats are this, like with Google, I think everybody can agree that the most powerful position in marketing is the first page of Google. Like if you want high intent, motivated seller leads, that is the position that you want to be. And there's 3 ways to get there. You pay for it to be up top. You optimize your Google My Business, the map pack, or you spend the time doing all the back end posting and back links and everything to get your SEO, and you optimize your website to get the ranking for organic search. That's how you get the 3 positions, the 3 most powerful positions in marketing. Is you pay for it, you optimize, or you spend the time and efforts to get search engine optimization. And they're all fantastic, and they're all great, because 70%, the stats, Jerry, 70% of people skip the sponsored. They don't trust the sponsored. They go to the map, and then they go to the organic to find the higher level of trust.
I mean, when you understand marketing, I do that because I understand marketing. I'm like, I don't want to talk to the pay to play. I want to talk to the one that earned their way to page one.
Right. The ones that have been around, the ones that have the most reviews, the ones that you feel like, okay, these guys have skin in the game. They're not just new people that are going to ghost me when it comes to.
They don't just have a big marketing budget. They've established their presence by being on page one organically.
That's right.
Definitely. Yeah.
So again, guys, if you're just joining, welcome to the show. Jerry and I will be answering your questions. I just wanted to open up the show giving you my 2025 results here in Arizona. We do mostly business in Phoenix, but we also do in Northern Arizona and in Tucson and some surrounding areas as well. This year, we're at $2,044,449 top line revenue. We spent $556,308 on our marketing budget. That gives us a 3.67 times return. And I will tell you this, guys, if you're used to, oh, I make 12 times and 20 times, and I get all this from cold calling and texting and some of these other resources, that is fantastic. I will just tell you this, to get into multiple millions a year, your marketing budget, the ROI goes down as you increase the revenue.
Yeah.
That's just the facts, guys. That's the absolute facts. If you can get to millions and millions and millions and millions and still be at that 8 to 10x return, you have an incredible business model. I celebrate you. I've never actually seen it happen.
I mean, we see that just with our ad spend on Google. Like if I just all of a sudden double my budget on Google next month, I'll see a much lower return on ad spend. You have to be very strategic. We sort of go like a 10 or 20% increase. We really are methodical about it because you don't want to throw money at Google and then they're just pray and spray for your leads. You want to really be careful about how you do that and grow strategically. And even then you're still going to see a less return as you spend more. It's just how it is.
That's right.
And you're hitting broader audiences. So it's going to be naturally, that's how it works.
Yeah. But I'm telling you guys, if you have a local business, you need to optimize your Google My Business. And this is one of those things that once you have that, it's like oceanfront property. There's only a certain amount you can't. And if you keep it optimized and you keep getting the reviews, you will get free leads forever. But if you don't set it up right and you don't get it going, Google will take you down and somebody's going to take your spot. I highly suggest, if you're interested in that and you're a local business, check this thing out at talktopeople.com/GMB/. If you're listening to this, we'll put it in the show notes. We'll put it in the comment section and the notes section in YouTube. But you guys really need to set it up now because somebody's going to take that spot in your area. And
looks like Brian Enix is ramping back up with you. He's out in Detroit, I think.
Yeah, they're phenomenal. They were doing TV, they were doing PPC, they're doing amazing things out there. So awesome. Well, let's open this up. We got some questions online. I posted to the Facebook groups, Wholesale Hotline, Wholesaling Inc., and to the Rhino Tribe. So we got some incredible questions, Jerry, to answer here. Great. So with that, I'll bring on my incredible producer here, Luke Mariner, to come in and ask some questions. And Luke, if you can, let's make it a little dramatic with some of these questions. Okay.
All right. A little
drama to this.
Let's get a little funky here, folks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Dominic Leto asks,
yes,
what list should we pull and what filter/parameters should we be putting on them?
Awesome. Great question. Go ahead, Jerry.
Yeah, I've got what I call my gold list, and let's see if I can remember these. There are 5 filters that we really like. And this is if you're going to pull a list and skip trace it and probably call it. What I like to do, and you can do this on PropWire for free. It's really easy, but I like to do what's called list stacking. And this is where you're going to take multiple filters, combine them. It's going to give you a much smaller list now, but it's going to be a very high intent list. Because again, you're pulling in multiple filters, motivation filters. So first of all, I almost always go with high equity. Like that's almost a go-to. Whenever I stack a list, I like to do high equity, unless you're somebody that's looking to, specifically acquire subject to, and you want low equity. Most of the leads that we want to reach out to, you want to make sure there's equity so that when you make that low offer that's got room for you to wholesale and make a profit, there's room there. So I like to do, Brent, absentee owner. Now that's a big one. So you're going to get a pretty big list. I like to go out of state. So that ties it in even tighter. Then I like to go tired landlord. And we define tired landlord in PropWire as somebody who's owned the property for, I think it's at least 7 years. It might be 10 years, but they've owned the property for a while. It doesn't mean they're tired, but it means they might be. So let me say it again: absentee, out of state, tired, high equity. And then the 5th one is vacant. That's a powerful list. I love that list. It's going to be a small list, but it's going to be a really good one.
Yeah, I love it. Right now, the Rhino Tribe is crushing, and people have heard me talk about this. 2-year tax default. 2-year tax default. Can you pull that on PropWire, Jerry? Are you able to pull tax?
Yeah,
default
we have tax
on
delinquent
PropWire?
on there. Yep, we have tax
and
delinquent.
then can you sort it for? Is there a way to sort it by the amount that they owe, or is it just years? How does that work?
I can. Yeah, you can do amount. Yeah, you can do a price. And you mean that's behind that they're behind on? Let me check and see on that one. I don't know off the top of my head, but you can definitely do years, and you want to do that because a lot of people will wait a year or not pay, and then they'll catch it up. So we'd like to go back 2 years behind. Yeah.
So hand dial, you find, you do deep dive skip tracing, make sure that you get all of the phone numbers that you can. And then if you can find out, and I don't know if you have this, Jerry, I know that Skip Genie has this, but if somebody has passed away, it'll show that they have passed away in Skip Genie. Which is really interesting because then you go, oh, I got to do more research here. All right. What is the research I have to do? I have to go find the family members. And so I think Intellius does some of the family members that you can just do online. What other people are doing is they're hiring genealogists. They're hiring private detectives. They're going into Upwork or they're going into Fiverr and they're looking for people that have access to TLO accounts. That's TransUnion's really deep dive to know everything about you. And then they get the whole family, the family tree and start reaching out to everybody to see who would be the next of kin. So it just depends on what state you're in, but you can go, usually it's spouse, then it's kids, and then it's grandkids, and then it's like siblings or whatever else, and then it goes down the line. So you're going to have to find out in your market, in your state, how the probate process works, the inheritance process works. And then they connect them with a probate attorney. They go through that and then they buy these houses. And it's been huge, phenomenal deals. And it's a lot of work, but it's, you don't have to, it's a higher quality list. Now, you're not going to have a billion people on that list. You need more to do.
Yeah.
So what Jerry's talking about is get into PropWire, go grab all of those, stack all those lists, and go through the highest motivation first. And you're doing this, guys, when you're in hustle season. There are levels to the marketing plan that once you reach, you can start getting some inbound leads. But unless you're spending, and this is real, Jerry, with pay-per-click, if you're in a major market and you're not spending $15,000 a month, it's really rough. It's really rough if you're just pure pay-per-click. What we've seen with our clients is we're doing a combination of YouTube and pay-per-click, and it's going phenomenal. And then obviously Google My Business stuff. But if you're in hustle, if you've got less than $2,000 a month in marketing spend, pull the lists, get it going, and start building some momentum and start building up your war chest for marketing.
Now, I don't know if you've heard, Brent, I haven't had a chance to talk to you much about it, but through PropWire, we just launched a really cool program that we call Warm Leads.
Tell me about this. Well, okay, where are these coming from? I wanted to talk about this. Yes.
Yeah. So it's really for the nationwide wholesalers because we're not filtering by market. So that's the one downside. That would be way too much work. The cost would be a lot higher. We may get to that, but right now what we've done is we've teamed up with some really big call centers overseas, and then I buy the leads in massive bulk. I'm talking, over 100,000 a month. So that I got my pricing down really low. And really all these we call them warm leads, but really it's just, do you want to sell? Great. Someone's going to call you with an offer in the next 24 to 48 hours. That's it. No discovery, nothing else. Just, do you want to sell? Are you open to an offer? Great. Someone's going to call you. But that's the callers that are doing that. So now what's great about this is you're not having to hire your own cold callers, or heaven forbid, you're calling yourself. Like if you guys are calling yourself, cold calling, oh my gosh, that is like such a low value activity, not a good use of time at all. So then you get these leads and we're providing them 10 a day, 200 a month for $4.99. So it comes to like
$499.
Yeah. So it comes to $2.49 a lead. It's like really cheap.
Oh my God.
Now they need vetted, they need discovery and pre-qualified, right? Because a lot of them are going to be retail or whatever. And again, the downside is you don't know where you're going to get 10 a day. We deliver them right to your inbox. So it's not a marketplace like a PPL or anything. And then you just, you call those leads and work them. But what's cool about it is it eliminates the cold calling aspect of it. It gets you right to where they're warm. And what a lot of people are doing with these is they're having their lead manager then, vet them, warm them up, or, get them hot now, do discovery, ask all the questions, and then pass that on to the closer.
What if I wanted what if I had $2,000? Can I spend $2,000 and get even more?
We have people doing that. Yeah. You would just probably set up a couple accounts, because we just made it like a standard program where you get, 200 a month for $4.99. So, but we do have some people that set up a couple accounts because they wanted more.
Now, let me ask you this, Jared. What do you think about buying those leads and then putting them into a Go High Level or a texting platform, and then texting to filter out more of those leads, and then calling them after you've gotten a positive text back? What do you think of that strategy?
Well, that's what I do when I get them, and what I recommend and teach people is before you call, text first. And just say, hey, you spoke to my team about possibly selling your house. Call me for a cash offer, and then try to create an inbound lead. But all of that could be set up automated with Go High Level. You could wait a day, then call them and outbound them, which you still want to do. You still want to outbound them. But yeah, definitely. And then again, it's the same, it's the same category of cold calling, which people have to understand. People aren't going to answer. You're going to need to call again. You're going to need to put them in a big follow-up sequence. I mean, plan on 4 to 6 months on some of these, all those things. It's like you said, you call it hustle season. These are the type of leads that you get for really cheap, but you're going to have to work really hard to convert. Yeah. But when you do, you're making money. It's just a lot more work than like a PPC or your expensive.
You're going to do the work anyway. You're going to listen. You either hustle or you pay. That's
one of the two.
Hustle or you pay. I mean, you look at the average lead cost for us was for PPC is over $300.
Yeah.
For one lead. That's 100 of the leads that you have.
And you want to convert 10 of those. Yeah.
And I have to, we convert like 1 out of 15 of those. Right. And so it's $4,500, $5,200 a deal or something right now. Right.
I look at it like this. Yeah. If you're doing if you go in the program, Brent, is warmleadsdaily.com, which is where you can sign up, just warmleadsdaily.com. But I think about it like
that's what it is. Can you put a banner together, Luke?
Yeah, it's just Warm Leads Daily. But if I think about it like this, when we hire a cold caller, they generate 1 to 2 warm leads a day. And our goal is to convert 1 out of 50 of those. Okay. So if you're getting 200 in a month for $500, if you convert just 1 of those, that's a pretty good return on your ads.
It's banana.
On your marketing cost. Yeah,
it's banana. I would take it. I would get a Go High Level. You can get a Go High Level CRM. Yep. Rafael Cortez has a phenomenal one. Mm-hmm. I think it's will you find that Luke? I think it's Pulse CRM, Pulse CEO CRM. Will you find what it is? It's got a phenomenal one that's got the automated. I would get in.
It's got the automation set up with Cortez with his.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And then you set up the texting and you get it out there, and you filter through all the people that respond, and then you call up the ones that are great. You just have to have the ability to. He also has like an unbelievable cash buyer database in there. Because you'll need that if you're getting
leads you're doing nationwide. Yeah, you're doing nationwide dispo, which we do with people too. Like we have a really good nationwide dispo program, but that's the
tell us about it. What is it, Jerry?
We'll just JV with people. We'll 50-50 if you with your deals, if you want nationwide dispo. Yeah.
How do people find out about that?
Dispowithjerry.com.
Listen, I haven't seen you in a month on one of these, and all of a sudden, like I don't even know you. It's like
now we'll tell you if it's not a deal. Like don't give us crap. Like don't send me stuff that you've tried and you can't. That's not what we're for. Like we're gonna look at it and tell you, hey, this ain't a deal.
Right.
But if it's a deal, we'll move it.
Yeah, Pulse CRM guys, really, really, really phenomenal. I'm
gonna check that out. I didn't know he had that.
Yeah, it's really great. He's got a lot of training in there and everything as well. Look, give us another question, but give us a mystery music. I can do that.
All right. Richard L. Wallace.
Hold on. We lost you there. Your audio went bananas.
Oh, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Good. Okay. Richard L. Wallace III asks, without the budget for PPC or PPL, what lists are you seeing yielding the best ROI for cold calling?
Nice. Yeah. Again,
we talked about that.
Yeah. Perfect.
The tax default, and I would go with Jerry's. That's awesome. Warmleadsdaily.com.
We've also created, Brent, this is something new we did this year in PropWire, but we've created some premium lists.
This guy. Keep going, Jared. You just want to.
Yeah. And what we've done is we've used AI and we automatically stack some really cool things together. So you don't have to figure out how to stack it. You just go right to that one, and it's got all the filters. And we've got, I think, 7 or 8 different really cool pre-stacked list for you. Sure. And yeah, so you'll see that when you go in there. When you go to PropWire and you go to the lead drop-down menu, you'll see these really cool custom stacked lists that you can check out and see what you like.
And with those warm leads daily, that's the leads that you're dropping on all the incredible people that are showing up to Pace and Jamil's events, right?
Yeah. So we're sponsoring his,
right?
We're sponsoring his entire event. So we've now given him for the tour 3,000 or 4,000 leads for people to call at those meetups. It's wild.
Right. Dang.
Yeah. And people are on the phones and people are doing deals. It's pretty cool,
Awesome.
All right. Mr. Dimitri Van Camp, please discuss TCPA law in regards to cold calling in the DNC list and the conclusions from case law. The conclusions seem to be different depending on who you listen to.
Yeah, I love it. So they had the case here in Arizona that the I think it's Brett Tanner's team. I forget what his cash buying company name was, but yeah, the judge said that it wasn't considered solicitation, and really strong there, right? So everybody's like, "Oh, DNC's dead." All the cold calling companies are like, celebrating and dancing and doing all that stuff. That was very powerful for what we have. I think that is really,
that was a win for our industry for sure. We needed a win. We needed a win.
Yeah, no, that was a huge win. But remember, guys, listen, you need, when you are getting your lists, make sure that whoever's providing your phone numbers does the litigation scrub, a litigator scrub. There are professional litigators. There are people that all of their income comes from filing lawsuits and getting you to settle for $2,000 to $4,000 to $5,000 to $8,000 to $10,000 each.
Ambulance
they'll put out, and they will get the paperwork. They will submit it. They'll send it to you, and it's scary to be served, a lawsuit while you're sitting there with your family at dinner, or while you're at your office or whatever else, and they know that. And there's Facebook groups. There's very large Facebook groups that teach it and coach it. There's coaching programs on this, on how to do that. So it's one of those things that, they can scare you. Can you win? Sure. Do you have to defend yourself? Yeah, you would have to defend yourself. You would have to have a budget for an attorney.
The other thing to keep in mind is that Arizona case, that was the federal that was the federal telemarketing rule.
Yep.
It doesn't mean that states can't also impose their own statewide, laws like Texas.
Yep.
And that's got nothing to do with the federal one. So, you guys got to remember there's multiple regulatory bodies. There's multiple ways that they can pass these things. And one, in that case in Arizona, that's not a blanket rule. That's just that court ruling, which the idea there is hopefully that sets precedents that will deter the litigators. That's the whole point of that. It doesn't mean you're not still going to get sued and you're going to have to spend money defending yourself. It doesn't mean anything. It just means that was one court ruling. Hopefully that sets precedents. And the whole ruling, guys, if you don't know, was that we're buyers, not sellers, which is true. I mean, it's a really good argument. We're offering to buy something, we're not offering to sell something.
Right.
So
yeah, we're not out there soliciting a service.
Yeah.
Right. Which is, it's wild, Jerry, because since 2006, I've been trained. I was trained as a real estate agent to call everybody that was expired or canceled listing, right? Call everybody in the neighborhoods that were just listed, just sold. And I'm like, well, what about the DNC list? And they're like, oh, yeah. Scrub it for that. Wink. You know what I mean? And so I think that just times have changed, and you got to just buy leads from Jerry.
Well, I mean, yeah. And keep in mind too, like that's just the cold calling laws. That's just one thing. Like really, if you're in wholesale real estate, you know, you need to be aware of all these things that are going on, especially if you're crossing state lines. You need to know. And a lot of it, you know, what's crazy, Brent, is I've done in the past month, I've done 3 new regulations that have passed: Oklahoma, Ohio, and what was the other one? Maryland.
I watched them all. Really well done.
And what's kind of cool in a way for us in the wholesale industry is we've moved away from, it seems like, licensing as the big hot spot or the hot button, and now it's disclosure.
Yeah.
Well, okay, that's easy. Just do the proper disclosure. You know, you got to update your contracts. You got to have the language in there exactly how they want it if you're in that particular state. What I've done, Brent, is I've gone back and I keep readjusting my contracts to hit every state's new little nuance.
I saw.
I want to eventually have like a master contract that applies anywhere. So it means my contracts are getting a little longer because I got to keep adding in a new paragraph every time somebody does something dumb. But I look at it like this: when one state says, I want you to disclose this way or this language, then I look at that and I say, okay, this is what they're asking for. This is what they're wanting us to do. Whatever it is, I want to be that way everywhere I transact because it's going to end up there anyway. And why can't I learn how to do the business where there's nothing that I'm doing that anybody would consider hiding or whatever? You know, like I'm above board on everything I'm doing.
What is it? Wholesaler contracts? What is it, Jerry? Wholesalercontracts.com?
Yeah. Wholesalercontracts.com are my free ones. And just recently I met with my lawyer. I said, hey, these are some things I want to do. Help me make sure I got the language right. So like I pay legal with my contracts and I update them at least once or twice a year. It seems like, you know, now there could be something I miss or another state does something I don't know about. So, you know, it's up to you. If you're using those, you're still liable if you use mine or yours or anybody's.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, you know, you words matter now in our business. What you say matters. What's in your contracts matters, especially as disclosure gets more and more of the priority for the regulators. You got to make sure. And honestly, Brent, everybody needs to learn how to talk about wholesaling. It can't be something that you just don't talk about or you don't explain. Make it part of your conversation. It's not that hard. You don't lose deals. I've never lost a deal to a seller because I told them I was going to wholesale. But I have had deals blow up where I didn't. They find out and now they're pissed off. They feel lied to, or you know, they feel like I somehow cheated them. That's happened, but not the other way around. I've never had it where I tell them up front and then they have a problem with it.
Yeah, we put it right in the purchase agreement. We explain
right in there.
It literally has a marketing section that they agree to, that they understand. And what I've done, Jerry, is even with the wholesaler disclosure, well, let me stay in the marketing thing. So we put it in there that we have the right to market. We have the right to market it on the MLS if we want. We don't, but we put it in there. And then with the wholesale disclosure, Jerry, we made that bold and we have initials underneath it now.
Smart. Yeah.
Right. So that it explains everything so that there is full disclosure. The other thing, I saw this really interesting post today, and I'm kind of going off of the list that you had there, Luke, for a second, but it was like, do you guys, somebody posted it, Adam Whitney, I don't know, somebody, and it said, do you think that it is ethical to put a property under contract when you don't have the ability to buy it? Right? And guys, if you're going in as a pure buyer, as a cash buyer on a purchase agreement, you better have funding to be able to be the buyer for that. That's what prevented me as an agent. I did my first few deals because I didn't have the money. I had like $1,700 in my account, but I had a real estate license, so I could get a commission. And then I talked to Chris Iman, a local hard money guy, and he goes, "Oh, I'll give you 100%. It's called transactional funding. I'll be your money guy 100%." And I was like, "Transactional funding? What's that?" So guys, you have to have that conversation, and it's going to give you more confidence, and it's going to prevent any kind of fraudulent activity. Okay. Because if you go in as a cash buyer on a written agreement and you don't have the ability to bring that cash to the deal and you don't disclose that
and have a history of it.
Right.
And have a history of it. Like if you don't have a history of actually buying property and you don't have the means or the ability to perform and close, then you have to disclose that you are going to be selling your contract or signing your contract. You just have to. Otherwise, you're misrepresenting what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And people are all over that. Like, that's going to get you in trouble.
Yeah. But it's so easy. Just get transactional funding.
Right. You know what's one of the biggest changes that I added to my contracts, Brent? This happened both in Ohio and in Maryland. They want us now disclosing to the buyer. So this is now on the BC contract if you're double closing, or the assignment if it's a true assignment, that you don't hold legal title and you may not be able to convey title. Now, I just assumed that was a given, that the buyer knows that you're assigning your contract, at least on an assignment, because what do you think an assignment is? I mean, it's an assignment. I'm assigning my contract, which means I don't have control. I don't own the property, but the regulators are wanting that now in your assignment. And then I also added it in my BC contract because I didn't have that in my BC contract. So in my BC contract now, it says, because they may not know because they're not seeing the AB contract, it says something to the effect of, I don't currently own legal title. This is subject to being able to get, marketable title, and you're aware of that.
Yep.
I mean, that should be standard. I don't know why I didn't have that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Love it. Luke, what else? What do you have for us?
All right. Let's see. What has been the most effective way to locate hard to find people?
What's the best way to locate them?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people just don't realize how good Google is. You know what I mean? I would say probably 80% of the people that I'm trying to find a contact information for, you can just find them from Google. You can find them on Facebook. You can find them on Instagram. You can find them somewhere, LinkedIn, those type of things. And you got True People Search. You've got the white pages. You've got all sorts of different resources online that you could find, the contact information for a lot of people. And then again, if you need to deep dive it, you can find a private investigator or a genealogist that can go in and help you find that.
Yeah, I would even challenge that idea, because you guys have to understand, when you're doing activity A, you're not doing activity B. So activity A better be worth the time, energy, and effort, because it's an opportunity cost. Whatever you do, whenever you do something, you're not doing something else, and the something else could be more effective. Guys, there's way better ways to generate leads than trying to chase down somebody you can't find. You know how time consuming that is? Like, why are you hanging on to that one lead? While you're chasing that one lead that you can't find, I'm talking to 10 more sellers. Think about that. Always be thinking about, is this the best use of my time right now? Maybe it is. Maybe it's worth tracking down that person. But I see people, Brent, they're like, I knocked on their door. I left them a note. I did this. I did that. What else can I do? I'm like, why are you spending so much time on one lead?
The worst is the pre-foreclosure list. Oh. It drives me absolutely crazy, Jerry, that it's like, oh, I need to get a hold of this person that's in pre-foreclosure because obviously they have to sell it. Right. And it's like, oh my gosh, you have no idea. I mean, the banks will let people in pre-foreclosure stay in pre-foreclosure for years. For years, they can postpone that. For years, they cannot make payments on it. The banks do not want to foreclose, Right.
And,
The thread, like it was back in, 1,000 years ago, or 50, literally like 20 years ago, 15 years ago, the threat of the bank just foreclosing, like when they say they're going to foreclose, is non-existent. They are programmed. They are
and some people will never do anything about it.
Yeah.
And some people will never do anything. They'll never reach out once. They'll never make any effort to sell it. They'll never do anything. They'll just put their head in the sand until it forecloses.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, listen, we have not proactively targeted a pre-foreclosure list. I can't even remember. It's got to be 10 years.
I wouldn't even do it in Arizona with that attorney general either. Oh my gosh.
No. So, it's people reach out to us that through our website that are in pre-foreclosure, but usually that's after a family member has passed away. Now the property's going into foreclosure, and they want to sell it before they lose it all, right? Or before it goes to auction. And so, anyway, what's the next one? For some reason, sometimes when I play this music, it does something weird to your microphone, but we'll see. It's 50-50. Go ahead.
Okay. Chris Glick says, how do I get more consistency with PPC? Keep increasing budget? ?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. So consistency with, you have to pay that. Yeah. You got to be set aside a budget that you're going to spend every month. They can't
don't pause your account. That kills you. That kills you big time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You got to keep it rolling, for one. For two, as soon as a lead comes in and any kind of inbound, you have 30 seconds to call them. So you got to get a hold of them right away. And you have to make sure you get them on the phone right away and have that communication as soon as possible. And I would look into a nice blend of PPC and YouTube if you're going to be spending money for it. And then obviously get your Google My Business optimized. Guys, I'm telling you.
Brent, just so when you say 30 seconds, you guys have to understand when someone's filling out a PPC form, they're high intent, high motivation. They're in a very proactive mode, which means after they fill out that form, they're filling out the next form. And that's why you have 30 seconds, because you need to talk to them and get them on the phone before the next PPC form your competition does. Right? You got that's exactly right. Yeah, you're spending that money, man. You will lose half your deals if you're not answering in 30 seconds.
Yep.
It's that critical.
I'm going to get Luke, I'm going to pull you off, and I'm going to start getting into some of these starred ones, because we have a lot of great ones from the audience. Yeah. So
thanks, guys.
Let me get into this. We've got Rodolfo says, I'm still afraid of cold calling. What can I do? Thanks to both. Well, I'll tell you what you could do. Hold on. Let me put this little banner back up here. It's right here. Warm leads daily.
Cold call. Yeah.
Rodolfo, let the other guys cold call. If you could get a lead for $2, that's a no-brainer. You're going to spend $150 on a dialer. You're going to spend $200 on some sort of CRM or list pulling, unless you're using PropWire. But you're going to spend some money. You're going to be skip tracing. You're going to be doing some of those things. So for $500, I would just go warm leads.
At some point in time, you got to get comfortable talking to sellers on the phone, whether it's a warm lead or a PPC lead. And the best way to do that is you just got to get your reps in, get the marbles out of your mouth. You got to do it a lot. When you're doing this, guys, honestly, I think you can have, what do you think, Brent? 15 quality conversations in a couple hours a day, 3 hours a day, something like that, if you've got decent leads coming in. And if you do that every day consistently, in a couple months, you're sort of at a whole nother level, because they only ask the same questions every time. There's only the same objections every time. You're going to get your tonality down. You're going to get the comfort level down. People are so afraid of, getting on the phone and talking to sellers. And then when people are forced to do it, or when they're pressured to do it, or they just step up and do it, pretty soon they're way better at it in no time flat.
It's a skill that you build. This is a quote that I was listening to an Alex Hormozi, The Game podcast today, and he said something I just absolutely love. He said, you can beat 99% of your competition if you can master the shame of rejection, the boredom of repetition, and the pain of feedback. Let me say that again. You can beat 99% of your competition if you can master the shame of rejection, the boredom of repetition, and the pain of feedback.
That is so true.
It's the absolute fact. You have to go through it, Rodolfo. You have to go through it. I mean, as a business owner, I'm telling you, there is not a greater personal development tool than being an entrepreneur. It is.
I mean, Brent, think about your top closer in your wholesale operation. What's his name again?
Ryan.
I mean, that guy shows up every day. He does the same thing every day, again and again and again. But yet he manages that boredom. He manages that repetition. He shows up, he does the work, and he makes hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in a sales position.
Yep.
Most people can't do it. They can't handle it.
All from his phone. I mean, he works from home. He works from the gym. He works from in his car. He works from being out at lunch with his wife. He works out at,
he's playing video games. Is that the guy that plays video games?
No, that's Luke Rothfold. It's once you understand that, building the skill of effective communication puts you just on a whole different level. And we've never really been taught it naturally. It's not something that you sit down in third grade and they're like, okay, here's how you understand neuro-linguistic programming. Here's how you understand mirroring and matching. Here's how you use your tone of voice. This is how you use your body language. This is how you smile when you're on the phone. This is how you stand up to bring energy. This is how you have enthusiasm. These are things that we learn. It's uncomfortable learning.
Yeah. It's funny, Brent. The other day, I went to one of Pace's meetups on his tour in Nashville, and we put people into groups, right? And then they're calling these warm leads. And I was going around to the groups, and I was helping out and stuff. And this woman has the phone number in her phone, and she's just sitting there like, and I look at her and I see the number and she's got her list and stuff. And I say, go ahead and call. And she's like, I'm terrified. I don't know what to say. I don't know what I'm doing. I've never done this. And I said, it's okay. Let's walk through it again. Hi, is this so-and-so? My name is so-and-so. Are you still interested in selling your house on 123 Main Street? Great. How much are you looking to get for the property? Can you tell me a little bit about what's going on? I said, that's just pretend like you're talking to your friend. That's all. So she's like, I'm still too scared. So Brent, I reach over and I push send on her phone and she burst into tears.
Yeah.
She lost her mind over this. And I was like, it's okay. I'm here with you. We can do this. And, by the end of the night, she had talked to a couple sellers. She's beaming from ear to ear. And I said to her, her name was Katrina. I said, Katrina, did you die? She's like, no, Jerry, I didn't die. I'm like, I said, you're making it mean something about you. This isn't about you. Don't make it mean something about you. This is a seller. You're trying to help them. If they want to sell, you're available. If they don't, it's okay. Talk to the next person. Like, what are we so afraid of?
Yeah, 100%. I had a coach that said, listen, Brent, here's the worst thing that can happen. You can call somebody, and this is the kind of coaching I got back in the day. You could call somebody and they could have a call tracker on the phone and they could see where you're at and they could drive over to where you're at and they can ring and knock on your door. And as soon as you answer it, they can pull out a gun and blow your brains out.
Yeah.
He goes, do you think that's going to happen? He goes, do you think that's going to happen? What's the likelihood of that's going to happen? And so I think the whole thing is just programming you for like the worst case scenario type of thing. Yeah. And so it's, I think the fear is that you're going to screw up a conversation. The fear is that you're going to do something wrong, but that's going to happen. It's absolutely going to happen. You're going to fumble. You're going to stumble. You're going to say the wrong things. You're going to put your foot in your mouth. And then you go, oh, okay. I understand that tripped me up. How do I not let that happen again? And then you learn, oh, this objection, they threw out this question and I couldn't answer it. Great. Write that question down and write 2 answers for it and put it in front of you when you're calling. Remember, you're on the phone. So you can have everything up, every cheat sheet. This isn't school where you can't have a cheat sheet. You could have every everything that you need up, every script that you need up, any objection handler up, and you can have it right there in front of you. And you can take your time by reading it to them.
Yeah.
So just take massive imperfect action. Those are the people. That's why I say people need to be dumber to succeed in this business, because you just overthink. You just overthink. And it's hallucinations. It's just constant hallucinations.
Yeah. Somebody once asked me, Brent, like, how do you handle like the monotonous part of this or the rejection or whatever? And honestly, for me, I've just trained myself to turn off this, like there's like an emotional switch that I can literally just turn off. And then what that means though, is it means I show up and it's not about, do I feel like it? What do I feel like? It doesn't matter anymore. I don't show up to the business with feelings. I don't bring the feelings. I just know that if I call so many people, I'm going to get a deal. Okay. Well, whatever that number is, if it's PPC, I'm shooting for 10 to 15. If it's cold calling, I'm shooting for 1 in 50. I just know that if they F-bomb me and they swear at me and they hang up and they're mad, okay, I've got 49 more to go. That means I'm that much closer to a deal. That's it. There's no emotion in it anymore. Take the emotion out of this, show up and do the work, whether you feel like it or not, and you'll see results and be consistent. And honestly, Brent, you should be able to spend 3 to 5 hours a day and be doing 3 to 5 deals a month if you could just be consistent. You don't need that much skill set. You don't even need, you don't need to be a pro at comping. You don't need to have a big cash buyer list. You don't need to have any of that. What you need is to be consistent, have quality conversations every day, get some sort of a lead gen going, and you're going to be in the money.
Yeah. The biggest expense we have in this business are our emotions. But point blank, it's not the marketing. It's not operations. It's not salaries. It's not any of that. It is our emotions, without a doubt. And by the way, guys, going through the hustle season, going through a ton of rejection, going through the repetitious boredom, going through being coached and getting feedback, all those things that Alex Hormozi was talking about, you have to have that to lead people. You have to go through that to be able to hire people that are going to replace you in the business. You can't just work on your business if you don't have those skills.
Yeah.
Because I have seen time and time again, somebody go out there and they get this 80. That's one of the worst things when people get their first deal, Jerry, and it's like $80,000.
Oh, ruins them.
Like, oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man. I gotta sit them
down
down.
Your next 3 deals.
And then they hire everybody.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They blow their money.
And they blow all their money. And then they go into this $35,000 whiz bang thing and that $15,000 thing and this hiring thing and all of these.
Or they go buy a rental.
Oh my gosh. They go buy, long-term wealth. Got to start now. Like, guys, build as an entrepreneur, get rich, then get wealthy. As an entrepreneur, get to the point where you have the ability to look at the best opportunities and invest in that because you have the time, because you've got a cash machine that is giving you enough income after your lifestyle is paid for to be able to buy really great assets. But the people that are taking, hey, I'm going to take this money, I'm going to put it into my first rental that doesn't cash flow, but that's fine because it's paying off the debt over time. And it's going to be great in 15, 20 years. You're done. You're toast. We're going to buy your house in 3 years. It's going to be destroyed and you're going to be super stressed. Emotions. You want to bring emotions into your real estate business? Go buy a bunch of single family rentals.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. You just buy yourself a bunch of drama.
Here we go. Dre, the investor, says, how to overcome the objection of, I don't want you to tie up the property or I don't want you wholesaling the property.
The way I would respond to that is I would say to them, it sounds like you've had a bad experience with another investor. Tell me a little bit about that. Like what I like to do is I like to validate somebody's concern and then turn it around and ask them a question for more clarification. I'm not launching into some kind of justification or I'm not being defensive now about something like that. I'm going to assume that every seller I've talked to has had a crappy wholesaler already talk to them or tie up their property and back out because they overcontracted. I assume they've already had a bad experience. And now I need to overcome that, and I need to be the solution. So when that happens, you need to find out, well, tell me a little bit about what happened. That must be frustrating that happened. I could see how you'd be upset that somebody contracted it. I don't play like that. Here's how I operate. Here's how I'm different. Here's how I think I could provide a solution for you if you're interested. Here's how I'm different.
Yeah.
Like we all, if you want to, I put a post out a little while ago, Brent, and I said something to the effect of, I don't remember exactly what it was, but I said, the top of this industry is totally wide open. This business is hard if you're in the bottom bracket, because now you're dealing with all the other sucky wholesalers out there. You want to dominate, become the best. Just rise above everybody else, and it's wide open for the grabs. Like you can own the market if you're just operate at another level. I love that question. It gives me a chance to stand out above everybody else.
Well, and in my experience, Jerry, anytime I've heard this objection, it's not a deal. It's not a deal to me. It's not a great deal. It's a tight deal. It's one you're trying to force. Mm-hmm. It's one that you're not willing to really buy. So you have the conversation. Hey, listen, I'm not willing to commit to this at this price, but I can put it out to my investors and see if I can get this sold to you to one of my investors. You had a great video, Jerry. You had a great video. You had a great conversation with a gal. She owed 105 on her property. You were trying to get her 125 fixed up. I think it was like 200 or two, in there, but it was it was built in like the 1900s. I'm watching that video and I'm like, Jerry, if that was me, my offer on that thing's 60,000.
Yeah.
Honestly. And you were doing your best. And I understand that you were training, coaching, and trying to make something happen there. Yeah. But to me, it was, and you were honest. You're like, I have to put this out to my investors. I can't buy it at that price. It doesn't make any sense, but I'll get it out there. When you have these conversations, it's because it's not a really great, juicy deal. And a good deal is one that I will commit to 100%. I will close on every deal that we lock up, Jerry. We go one of two ways. We go, hey, listen, we will go and I'm going to buy this property. That's number one. The intention is to buy it. We'll put it out to our investor base. Doesn't matter if we can get something that makes sense to us, we'll assign it. If not, we're going to close it. That's our number one strategy. Number two is, hey, listen, we've got a group of investors. This isn't for us at this price. All right. It's not exactly what you were saying, Jerry. This is not for us. Now I've got a group of investors. I'll put this property under contract to get the commitment. And then what I'll do is I'll assign it to somebody else for a fee. But for me to reach out there, I need to put the property under contract. But I need you to know that it's like 50-50 if this goes through. I need you to understand that I'm going to be marketing this and putting it out there. And I am definitely not the buyer for this property at this price. Okay. Yeah. Because now they get to make a choice. They get to go, okay, well, I can go try to find a direct buyer, a direct investor that'll pay me this, or more likely, Jerry, with the ones that have been on the market or have worked with other wholesalers, they know that other investors have come in way lower than what they want. Mm-hmm. So they're hoping that you all have this niche list, this niche market, this private market that will sell them and get them what they want. And they're willing to give you a week or 10 days to test that out.
Yeah, it's interesting, Brent. I had like this objection right here. I just had a conversation with an agent recently, and they basically said, are you a wholesaler? I will not lock this up with another wholesaler. And I said, okay, tell me what happened. And and the agent said, we've fallen out of contract twice with wholesalers. And I said, do you want to know why that's happening? And they're like, why? And I said, because you're locking this up way too high. So you're getting an inexperienced wholesaler who doesn't know what they're doing. They're over contracting. They're trying to find a buyer. They can't find a buyer. And then they're backing out. And you did that twice now. Mm-hmm. And so they said, well, what are you trying to say? And so I said, do you want to know the real number to get this property sold? I'll tell you the real number. And if you contract with me at that number, I'll get it done. I'll perform. Yep. You won't have to worry about this, because I'll either buy it or I'll move it to a real buyer because it's at a real price. And so it went back to like the reason why this objection exists is what you said, Brent. You're dealing with somebody who wants way too much, and they've probably fallen out of contract because somebody overcontracted it. That's why that objection exists.
That's it. And it's usually with an agent, or it's with in my experience, it's with either a flipper or a tired landlord. It's one of those guys or an agent. This is not the I just inherited this house and it's completely destroyed guy. This is not the I'm downsizing. I've owned this house for forever. I haven't been keeping it up. It needs a total remodel. I've owned it for 23 years and it needs everything type of thing. I understand. I'm not getting that. Is not this, Dre. That is not this conversation. So that's what I suggest for those conversations. One, be willing to walk away. Be willing to walk away from small deals. Set a minimum standard for what you're doing. And the way that I go about it is if I'm going to buy this property and it has to be a no-brainer deal in this market because people are getting killed out there by running their numbers. So I need to be conservative. So here's the number that I 100% will buy it at.
Yeah.
Now I'll put it out to my private database. I'll put it out to them and see if that's worth the juice, or I'll just flip it myself. I don't care.
Yep.
But if not, then I'll be fully disclosed. Well, at this price, you're going to have to sell it to somebody that has a private network of investors or drop the price.
And if I can't move it at that number, I'm going to come back and have a heart-to-heart with you, and we're going to have to figure out what to do from there. Either terminate the contract or renegotiate the price.
Yep.
So give me some time. Like that's the conversation I'll have if the number's not a slam dunk.
Yep. Love it.
Yeah.
Leslie Robinson says, I understand that return on ad spend will decrease as we scale. What's the minimum return on ad spend that you will tolerate before you change channels? So for inbound leads over a 6-month period, I need to get at least 3 times. I'm shooting for 4 or 5. 4 is really, really nice if the leads are coming from Google or PPL or something that the deals are happening faster. Like speed really matters with this, Leslie. It's not just return on the ad spend or ROI, but how fast what is the cash conversion cycle? Because if I can get my money back out of the marketing and back into the marketing, then I can recycle that faster. If I can do that 8 times a year, 9 times a year that I can with pay-per-click, I can do more deals faster. Now the ROIs, for the return on ad spends 4x, but it's faster. Can I get 12 from a different lead source? Yes, absolutely. I can't scale that way without hiring a ton of people. Like I can't go with Jerry and go warms lead daily. Say, Jerry, I'm going to spend $405,000 with you this year on warm leads daily. And I'm going to get that into I would have to have 30 acquisition managers. I would have to have way more people to do that justice. So and go volume with people. If you have a bunch of people that you want to feed with these big teams, but I think it's a huge mistake. I think people really underestimate the churn factor of bringing in training, getting really great talent with a bunch of great acquisition managers. And until AI can take that over, I just think that the volume's crazy.
I think, Brent, it's not just the cash conversion cycle. How many times can you turn it? But it's also the assignment fees themselves, the wholesale profit. Because, like if you look at the agent model, which I talk a lot about because it's free and it's a great place for people to start. But I'm not disillusioned. Not everybody, but most people that are doing agent outreach in the agent model, their average assignments are 7,000 to 10,000. And the reason why is because agents are going to protect a lot of that equity. They're not going to let it go for a big steal. So you tend to have smaller fees, whereas PPC, you're hitting your whoppers. You're hitting your $25,000 and $30,000 assignment fees, and and so you have a fast conversion cycle and bigger fees. So a lot of people make the mistake, Brent. They're like, well, cold calling's so cheap. Well, you've got a 6-month cash conversion cycle and your average assignment fees are 10 to 15. Whereas if you take PPC, maybe you have a 30 to 60 day cash conversion cycle and your average assignment fees are 20 to 25. If you put all of that together, it's an absolute no brainer on how you're winning. It's not just the ROAS.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the biggest and the best teams that are in the collective geniuses, the investor fuels, the people that use this flipping or wholesaling or novations to build up their war chest to then go buy all their rentals and do all those things, they get inbound leads. Okay. We've got Doug Hopkins, got Andrew the home buyer here in town. They're spending 500 to 800,000 a month in inbound. They've never done cold calling. They've never done texting. They've never done any of those things. Now, those guys started out buying at the auction and flipping and doing some incredible things, and we're able to build those businesses with inbound. But they're getting inbound leads. That because they want to have the best quality and they want to get good reviews, and you need really good acquisition managers to do that. I've seen these guys that have leads coming in from cold calling, and then they do virtual, and they have these incredible kind of sales guys go through the sales process and lock up these properties virtually. And then they cancel 80% of them. They have the worst reviews in the market, and then they move markets. You know, it's insane. So reputation really matters. So get really high quality people on your team to keep your reputation long term. My opinion. Let me get this is a good one here. So Howard walked the property this morning. Me and the seller agreed to $106,750. She didn't sign my paper agreement since her sister wants to review the agreement, but she let me put a lockbox on. Thoughts? It's all positive signs to me.
What's the question there?
I think the thoughts on, do you think it's he's going to lock it up?
Well, I mean, you didn't get the signed contract, and there's a I need to review it thing going on there. So, I mean, now it's up to you to follow up and get that thing signed.
I think that there needed to be advanced agreement, Howard. You need to know before going on an appointment who else is the decision maker in this process. You know, when I come over, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, tomorrow at 10 o'clock, if we can agree on the price and if we can agree on the terms and you want to do business with me, is there anything stopping us from committing on paper to moving forward to me buying this property?
Yep.
Yeah, I need to have my sister review it. Amazing. Can I send this agreement to your sister now, just so that she can look at it? I won't fill it out until I talk to you. I'll get everything approved by you, but at least she can go through all of the purchase agreement. And if there's any questions, I can answer it on the appointment. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Right? Because now the window's left open, Howard. Now you've got the sister, and this happens all the time. And family members should be involved in the process, because nothing is a tripwire more to these really great deals than a family member coming in and be like, no, there's no way. We just had it happen, Jerry. We just had the mom selling her triplex that's been vacant for 10 years in Mesa. She hits us with a price. Seems like a decent price, something we can commit to. Go on the appointment, son's there, right? And the son's like, no, we need $100,000 more, right? And we're like, okay, great, go put it on the market. You know, if you want to try to get that price, go and put it on the market. This is where we're at. Let us know what you want to do. They went with our price eventually, because we did the discovery. We knew what was going on, but there's always there's always somebody in the family that's like the protector. Yeah, you know what I mean? They're like, okay, I got to make sure that people are taken care of, and that's great. You got to embrace that. You got to work with those people. You got to let them know, yes, I want you to protect this transaction. I want you 1,000% confident in this agreement, in this transaction, or it's not going to work. You won't show up to close it. We're not going to force you to close it, anything like that. So let's be 100% comfortable moving forward. And so who needs to be involved?
Yeah. Here's the question that we like to ask pre-appointment, right? So if you're going to go on appointment, in order to make a final decision to sell, is there anyone else that you would need to get on board, like a spouse? Now, because then if there is like a sister or something, then you really want them on that appointment with you, right? You want the decision makers there.
Yep. Legacy Realty Team.
Team.
What skill set or fundamental would you say is the most important to being a successful wholesaler? Talking to people. TTP. I mean, conversations and offers. That's what it is.
It doesn't need to be deal structure, analysis. I mean, negotiation. It really, honestly, if you could just be comfortable talking to people, you will kill it in this business, because all the rest of it can come together. It will come together.
Yep.
Like, you'll figure out how to get the price right, and you'll figure all that stuff out. That's like the 10% stuff. The 90% of it is, I would say, the skill set is the consistency, like just showing up consistently every single day and being comfortable talking to people. If you can figure that out, you will kill it in this business.
That's right. And by the way, what Jerry and I are talking about is not like, oh, you need to go out there and you need to cold call every day and you need to do that. If you're in that position, well, I think Jerry's really, the business has evolved from what it was, a couple of years ago, let alone 5, let alone 7. You can get warm leads daily, get 200 leads for $500 or something.
Yeah. 10 a day, right to your inbox.
Guys, go sell your TV. Go sell the plasma in your blood. Go sell bone marrow. I don't care. Get the 500. If you can't find out a creative way to get $500 a month to get leads to go after your dream, this is going to be a tough business for you. It's going to be a absolute. You can do it. You can absolutely do it. And so go figure that out.
And then, Brent, would you say once you have a 6-month runway, you're ready for PPC? Meaning $5,000 a month.
Yeah.
6 months, 30 grand. If you could have 30 grand to launch a PPC campaign, is that when you would recommend doing that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or can you do it with less?
You can do a combination of PPC and YouTube and really do it a really great job. If you're just doing pure PPC and you're in a major market, you need 15 grand a month in spend. Yeah. And so you want to build to that, but to be able to build to that, you can have a combination of YouTube and pay-per-click and do phenomenal.
And where do they go? Where do they go for that with your agency?
Talktopeople.com, baby. Talktopeople.com. And if you're like, you know what, I don't have that war chest set up, but I want to start getting some leads coming in. I am telling you guys, setting up and being on the map of Google and putting reviews in, I highly, highly, highly suggest you guys check this out, because there's only a certain amount of spots. Nobody in the business knows how to optimize like we do. This is like a weird, awesome little niche thing that I brought in a guy specifically to do this. And I'm telling you, 93,000 this year so far after it was set up. And that was just people calling in ready to go. 93,000. We just got to set up. It cost $0 for us. It'll cost something for you to set it up, obviously, but I would highly suggest that you get that going. It is absolutely bananas. But getting back to legacy here, when we're saying the ability to talk to people, it's not necessarily just like, hey, go and pick up the phone and cold call agents and go call homeowners and do that. What I mean is making people feel comfortable answering the single most important question that needs to be answered. What is your goal with the sale of this property? What is your goal? Because, guys, it comes down to, as it always has, hold on, let me remove this so that there's enough room here. It comes down to this, guys. It always has. Speed, convenience, and price. Guys, if this is take a screenshot of this. Please take a screenshot of this and tag Jerry and I in Instagram. That'd be really dope. That'd be really cool if you could just do it and then just tag us in a bit. But guys, speed, convenience, price. Sellers get to pick two. If they want speed and convenience, then it's a cash as is offer. That is a purchase that you do that you can flip or you can wholesale. If they want convenience and price, that is a novation. And if they want speed and price, that's either a creative deal or it's listing it on the MLS. But you have to discover what is the most important thing. They only get to pick two. So they go, oh, I want it sold fast. I don't want to do anything to it. And I want the highest price. Okay. Well, in this market, you just can't get that.
This is genius, Brent, by the way. Like this is really cool because it makes it so simple to understand, because that's it. You got wholesale, innovation, creative, or listing. Those are really the only four things you can do with somebody.
That's it. What's the exit strategy here, right? What is the way that you can make active income? This isn't buy and hold. This isn't that. But the sellers only get two. You can't give them the highest price as is, as fast as possible, and with a cash offer off the market.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't happen. That's not real life. So when you're speaking to them and you're seeing, okay, what is the most important? I want it sold fast. I don't want anything done with it. And I want I don't want to deal with banks. I don't want to deal with appraisals. I don't want to deal with inspections. I don't want any of that. Do you want to pay all the closing costs? I don't want to do that. Do you want to pay for an agent? I don't want to do that. Okay. Cash as is offer. Here you go. You can either buy it yourself, guys, or you can assign it to somebody else. And if you get to the point where you understand what a great buy is, then you go and you put it out to your investor base and you go, okay, how much can I make an assignment? Is that worth not doing this project myself? Yes, it is. Boom. Great. You assign it. As long as you follow the regulations in your state, as long as you have all the right documentation, as long as you have the right title companies or closing attorneys, this is all you need.
Yeah.
This is the path. So just remember this, guys. Just remember that the sellers only get two, and the number one skill is discovering what is the goal that they have. Do they want speed and price? Do they want speed and convenience? Do they want convenience and price? And whatever strategy you have, that's the offer that you make. And if you're just getting started, cash as is.
Yeah. That's what I was just going to say, Brent. The end game for every wholesaler should be able to do all four of those: wholesale, innovation, creative, or listing, but that's developmental too. So like, guys, don't get overwhelmed by that chart he just showed, because if you're new in the game, I think you do what Brent says. And I say this too: focus on the cash, low cash, straight assignment, get really good at that. Once you're really good at that, you've got that dialed in, it's working well, you're consistent, then maybe open up and start doing innovation, or then maybe learn how to do a creative deal. But if you're trying to do all of those at once out of the gate, you're going to be not very good at all four instead of really good at one. And the one you start with is always going to be low cash. That's the high equity deals that you really want to, because that's the one with the least moving parts. You got to look at value and condition. That's it. You don't have all the other things to worry about that you do with the other ones.
That's right. Yep. We'll give it to you because you think that your shadow banned. Pace Murby is wrong about taxes. Asked, do you agree with Pace that you can claim depreciation in seller financed properties? Well, it depends on who's on title, right, Jerry?
Yeah, it's going to depend on, I think it depends on who's on title. I mean, this seems to me like it's a CPA type question. Like if you're unsure, talk to your CPA, make sure you're comfortable with what you're doing.
That's what you're giving them?
That's all I would say. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I know. It's like, answer this legal question. Yeah, I probably won't, but I'll give you a little bit of experience here. But if you're on title, you can do advanced depreciation, But
I would say to this person, which I think I know who they are, who cares? I mean, I saw your comment. Nope, Internal Revenue Code prevents doing so. Well, then you do you and let Pace do Pace. I mean, why do you care so much? Why do you have a channel named Pace Morby is wrong about taxes? Like, who cares? Why are you spending your time and energy worrying about what Pace does? Let Pace do Pace. You're certain about what you're doing. You do you. I mean, why lose sleep over what Pace is doing?
Yeah, agreed. How do you explain to your spouse that wholesaling is not a get-rich-quick scheme and not a con? The best way at Players 3377 is with a check.
Proof.
Proof, baby. Yeah, proof. I mean, listen, if you get excited about something and you have true enthusiasm about something and you go out and you prove to your the people in your group and loved ones that you can be successful at it, like, you don't need to have cheerleaders. I mean, it's great to be around people that are going to support you. It's great to be around people that understand, but it's really difficult to get that outside of people doing this, people that understand what it is, people that have talked to attorneys, the people that have talked to closing attorneys and title companies and escrow officers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so if you're going and you're speaking with all these people that are closing these deals on a regular basis, and they're telling you how to do it and do it right and following all the regulations, then I guess it's just an opinion on whether they think that you should be making income from real estate in this way.
Yeah.
And I don't care what the opinion is. I don't care what the opinion is. Do you know how many people thought it was a con that I was a real estate agent?
Mm-hmm.
People think that real estate agents are cons.
I mean, I do, but I'm just kidding. I have a real estate license, so I can joke. But you know what, Brent? This right here was my wife when I got started. She was adamant against wholesaling.
Yeah.
Until I did my first deal. Then she was sort of like, maybe you got lucky. Then my second check, my third check. By my fifth check, she was like, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened to our family. I always knew you could do it.
Yep.
You want to get someone on board that's unsupportive? I told my wife too, when she said, I don't think this is a good idea. I don't want to do this. I don't like the risk here. And she grew up where her dad worked for the same company for 30 years, retired with a pension, right? Like, that was her upbringing. So I get it. And I said to her, honey, what I'm doing right now, I don't think is going to be the life I want. And it's definitely not the life I want for you and the kids. I have to try this because I want something better for you and our family. And she said, I still don't think you should do it. And I said, I'm doing it anyway.
Yep.
Because I believe so strongly in it. And this is my life too. And I knew she's just scared. It makes sense. I get it. It's okay. And now it just means I have to prove to her that here's the problem that people have. Like, I think the reason why that concern comes up, Brent, is because I see a lot of men say to their wives, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. They talk, and then they don't do it. Yep. Or they do it for a minute and then they don't do it. And so your wife doesn't believe you. She doesn't believe you because you haven't shown her that you're serious. When she sees you turning off the TV and not spending the weekend with your buddies or whatever you're doing, and she sees you're for real and you're making the sacrifice and you're trying really hard, if she's worth her weight in gold, she will get behind you and support you in this.
That's right.
But right now, she probably doesn't believe you, and that's why you're having a lot of resistance.
Yeah, and there's probably, exactly. I mean, there's been other things that you were excited about and didn't follow through with. Yep. And so there's some doubt there. There's some, hey, are you going to get distracted? Or are you going to spend money on this thing on, you know, that you tried out before with this other thing? So, yeah. Anyway, Levi Matthew Jones says, for the Texas cold calling laws, does it limit how I can reach out to potential buyers? Or does it not matter since I'm calling LLCs?
No, it doesn't matter because this is a consumer protection thing. And when you're calling buyers, those are investors.
Got it. Awesome. I am talking to agents and I noticed it's a rush convo and I really want to help to know how to slow down convo and gain a relationship with them. Any books or video you recommend to get better at influencing them?
I'm actually working on a video right now. Brent, where it's all about like the behaviors, and it's a lot about tonality. It's a lot about pausing. It's a lot about positioning, reframing. Like those are some of those next level things. But honestly, I try really hard to mirror the person that I'm with. So if I've got an agent and they're super rushed, then I'm not going to ask them, how's your day going? Did you have a nice Thanksgiving? They're rushed because they're busy. So but whereas if someone's more friendly, they're a little more slower, then I'll slow down. Like part of good sales is being able to map somebody and then match them where they're at. So just because they're rushed doesn't mean if you're also rushed, something's going wrong. It just means like you got to learn how to get to the point and still lead the conversation, still position as the authority, but you got to do it at a little faster pace now.
And I love this. Say Draza, this brings up something that I think is really important, because there's a little part of this that says any books or video. The best way that you're going to get good at this is doing it. Like I look back, Jerry, and there was times in my career where I hid behind books. I hid behind trainings. I hid behind audios. I didn't take the massive imperfect action that I needed to, because I wanted to, get the education first. Guys, education comes when you go and take action.
Yeah.
That's what education is, changing your behavior, doing a different behavior in the same conditions. That's education. You can't change your behavior by just reading a book. That's just entertainment. That's just distraction. I did the whole 52 books in 52 weeks, and I loved it. And I was doing all this, and it was great. But it did not make me any more money. I'm just telling you guys, it feels good. It feels good to use books as shields. And I think it's important to read really good books, because good books and trainings and videos are the plunger that we need to plunge all the nonsense out of our brains that's thrown to us by social media, by the news, by disappointments, by all of these things, our family, the drama, whatever else it is, right? Books plunge it out. But books are not going to make you a millionaire. Books are not going to get you deals. Books are not going to get you better at slowing down the conversation. Doing the work and finding the ways to communicate with these agents that aren't rushed is going to be the number one thing. Now, as long as you're taking action, yes, I want you reading 10 pages a day or 20 pages a day, or as long as you want, read an hour a day. Increases your vocabulary, makes you more confident, gives you great ideas, plunges out all the negativity. Great stuff. But it does not get you paid. Do you have to go, Jerry?
No.
You're good. Okay. We got some more questions if you don't mind sticking around.
Yeah. Let me check real quick. Yeah, I'm good till 2 for another half hour.
Do you all know where we can go to view all current and past resources for the industry? Do you have videos, websites, etc.? I've got, ttpinsider.com is going to give you a ton of that. ttpinsider.com. I don't know if I have a little ticker for that, but I should. I'll make one. But Jerry, what do you got?
Well, I mean, I give away 50 different cool free things. Most of those are, if you go to any of my YouTube descriptions, you'll see a whole list of things. So there might be something specifically you're looking for. But I like to give away a ton of free resources. If it's regulation related, you go to wholesaleregulations.com. And I try to update that all the time with whatever the current regulations are. So I don't know exactly what you're looking for. The other thing I would say is, if you go to Brent or my YouTube channel, you can go to the playlist, and both Brent and I try to put the videos we make by topic, and you can go find a specific topic you're looking for, and you can get all the training and education you want for free right on YouTube.
Look at Nunya Business. I did my first call today. He cussed me out and hung up. Let's see if this thing works. It's probably going to be terrible, but we'll do a bell ring here. Oh. It's kind of like a Christmas bell. What do you like? Do you like that, Jerry, or do you like this?
The first one.
Congratulations, Nunya Business. It makes you feel good. It's like Christmas bells. That's good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's get back to some of these questions here that are starting. Great. By the way, guys, thank you for participating. Thank you for being in here. Got the number one step, and I truly believe this, and I'm going to show you right here in this slide that I have. The number one step in this business is to find your tribe. Find your tribe. Find people that are doing this business, and just being on here, being on this live show, participating. It is so incredible because you can connect with each other. You can find where everybody's doing business. You can reach out to somebody that's closing deals or posting a lot on here. Guys, there are millionaires in the chat right now. I'm just telling you right now, I've recognized them. I've seen them. There's people that are making $100,000 a year, multiple $100,000 a year, $1 million a year. The point of this channel is to really get you to the point where you are consistently doing 6-figure months every single month. And this is part of it. This is where it starts, right? It starts with finding your tribe. So get in there, communicate with each other, uplift each other, find a way to do some role playing, find a way to get on calls together, find a way to not do this business alone. Because when you have a whole group, go ahead.
That's Dimitri Van Camp. I mean, he's on here. He's participating in the chat. I mean, that guy's a beast and does really well. He's virtual, lives in Europe. And like, I love him because all these excuses people make, I always think of Dimitri and I'm like, dude, he's got everything stacked against him. And yet he's highly successful living in another country. You can do it too. You know what I mean?
He does it in the dark in the middle of the night, Jerry.
Yeah. Cause he's like 12 hours,
9 hours ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
It's awesome. Do your, Jay Zayas says, is your warm lead call and dispo buyer list, can you do it in Canada?
We don't do Canada. I don't know anything about Canada. They're a bunch of weirdos over there.
It is wild, right? That they'll every so often your interest rate changes. Your interest rate gets adjusted in Canada every 5 years or something based on current market rates.
I mean, why would you do business in Canada when it's so much more complicated when you can do business in the US?
Yeah.
I would just, if you're in Canada, I would just virtually do it here in the US.
Major Theory 29. What tips would you give for when we're on live calls with seller for us to give a quick estimate offer on live calls? I love this.
Yeah.
Some of the ways that we do this is they'll say, well, what will you offer me? Right. Or something like that. And I never tell them what I'll offer them because I don't know enough, right? And I'll try to say, yeah, I'd love to give you a quote over the phone. Can you tell me a little bit about the condition of the property? Have you upgraded the kitchen and bathrooms in the last 5 years? Get a little bit of details. You don't need a tremendous amount. You can see from Google Maps, if you just pull up their address and look down and look at the street view on most houses, you can kind of get an idea of the condition of the property. And you should be calling on lists that are in rough shape anyway. But the way that I look at it is 50, 35, 10. Okay. 50, 35, 10 Major Theory. I look at the Zillow's estimate. And if it is above 250,000, I'll throw out 50%. If it's between 250 and 100,000, I'll throw out 35%. And if it's below 100,000, I'll throw out 10%. Okay. And the way that I say is I'll look around that area and I'll find some properties and I'll say, I can't give you a definite number right now, but it looks like your neighbors, similar size, similar condition, are selling around this price, 50%, 35%, 10%. And then they'll either go, that is absolutely ridiculous, I want 30 times that amount or whatever else. Or they'll say, yeah, that's kind of in the ballpark of what I was thinking. Right. But for the most part, if they're really pushing you for what's your price, they haven't made the decision they're going to sell the house. They're just kind of putting the pressure on you to give up your leverage, I guess, if you want to call it that, or just they're curious about the price that you would offer them. They're not really ready for the most part, where they're like, oh, just give me your price. Right. Beautiful thing is you can now get those warm leads from Jerry. And when you're calling them back, it's a totally different call.
Mm-hmm.
It's a totally different call.
Yeah.
Yeah. You talked to somebody on my team. I was following up with you and just wanted to get some more details so that we can get you a solid offer on it.
Yeah. One thing I like to do, Brent, with this question. Yeah. One thing I like to do with this question is turn it back around to the seller and find out, well, why is it you're looking for an offer? Are you hoping to get something done soon? And if they say something like, because usually this question, they're just tire kicking, they're shopping.
Yep.
They'll say, well, I'm just curious what I can get for my property. And I'll say to them, look, I'm not an appraiser. If you're looking for an appraiser, then you can pay $400 or $500 and go get an appraiser, and they'll tell you what your value is of your property. I'm a buyer. I'm here to buy. So if you're interested in selling, I possibly could be the solution for you, but I'm not here to give free advice on values for properties.
Yep.
And I'll tell them that.
Yeah, I love it. And there's something to be said about the confidence with that.
Mm-hmm.
Tucky's Family Gaming World 966 says, what ad copy works better for bandit signs?
It's been a long time since we did bandit signs as a regular thing.
It works in smaller markets, guys. Smaller markets, this is strong. Bigger
and low
markets,
income.
You're totally wasting your time.
Yeah.
If you're going after, yeah, you're looking at homes that are going to be totally fixed up, 200,000 and below, typically. And yeah, I mean, it's the We Buy Houses cash. You can just put Tucky's Family Buys Houses, call us, any of those things. But you're going to have to really test it out. You're going to have to see which ones you're getting the best responses. And typically what Jerry was saying is absolutely spot on. You want to be in the areas that the median sale price is 200,000 or below. Yep. Let me see. Got that. There's some more questions here that have been popping up. Yeah, we got some great people in here today.
Yeah, it's awesome. Thank you guys for showing up. Jerry,
your warm, is that what WCL Accelerate?
Yeah, we call them warm call leads. Yeah. It's nationwide only. Now, the one qualification we do with our call centers is I don't want super rural. So I tell them we're only going to target, and we provide the data through PropWire. We're only targeting areas where you're in a metro or you're within an hour of a metro. So that way we're not, because I could buy something rural for 10 cents on the dollar, and it doesn't mean I'm going to be able to sell it. So I don't like that, so these aren't super rural leads, but they are nationwide. We don't differentiate by market. That would be a whole nother setup to do. We may get to that point at some point, but the cost is going to be a lot higher. So what's great about this is you could get leads anywhere. So this is really just for nationwide wholesalers. But what we're seeing, Brent, is we have some teams that they're in a local market and they still do this. They just set up a virtual team and do it.
Awesome. How recent are those leads?
24 to 48 hours.
Really?
Yep. So we generate the leads and then we move. We want them to be fresh because, the longer. That's why when you get your list for the day, we email you 10 a day. You want to call them right away, because if you wait till Friday and it's Tuesday, every day you wait, they get colder.
Yep. Teresa A4 says, I fell off a bit because of how busy my 9 to 5 got. I need to prioritize real estate. Would you say 2 hours a day, non-negotiable, no matter what, would suffice? Teresa, I would say that you have 168 hours in a week. And I don't know the rest of your schedule. You got your work, but the work is, if it's a 9 to 5, it's 40 hours a week. So you've got 128 hours. And you sleep, let's say you sleep 56, which nobody gets 8 hours sleep. Let's be honest, Teresa, but let's say that you do, right? So now you've still got 160 some odd hours. I mean, you still got 60 hours. Maybe you got some kids, you got some other things. I would find, to really realize your dream of being a real estate entrepreneur, you have to find 20 hours. You have to find 20 hours. Now, if you can do 2 hours, yes, it'll just take you longer. The problem with it taking longer is creative avoidance creeps in. You can go and find other things to do. You're not getting the results fast enough, and so you get distracted. And or some other thing pops up that you do have interest in. It does seem like you can do for 2 hours, and it seems like a better opportunity. I would just say if you can commit to 20 hours a week consistently, you cannot lose in this business.
Mm-hmm.
As long as 15 of those hours is you actually talking to somebody about real estate, right? 20 hours a week is not, organizing a list. It's not doing comps on properties that you haven't talked to the property owner. It's not that stuff. It is literally 15 hours of that week. You need to be speaking with people. You need to be having new conversations and making offers with people. And you can do it 100%. You can be wildly successful. What do you think, Jerry?
Yeah. I mean, 2 hours is better than 1 hour. 3 hours is better than 2 hours, but like everybody, when they start out where they've got to treat wholesaling as a side hustle, you are in the most difficult stage of the business because you're trying to juggle lots of things and you have limitations. So you just got to work through that. I mean, honestly, I think if you've got a 9 to 5, then your real estate should be your 6 to midnight. I mean, how bad do you want this? That's what it was for me. It was all consuming and I still had to pay the bill. So I still had the 9 to 5. But I knew it was a season. So I was willing to make the sacrifice. And I sat down with my family and I said, this is going to be brutal, but I have to make this transition because I want to get out of the 9 to 5. The only way to get out of the 9 to 5 is the 6 to midnight. The side hustle has to surpass it, has to replace it. So what do I got to do to replace it? And how fast can I replace it? That's how I would look at that.
Zay Holland 05. I love this. I hope you were born in 05. That'd be amazing. Right? 20 years old. Zay's just fresh, Jerry. Just absolutely fresh. Come on. The market is horrible, Zay says, for both buyers and sellers. Bad time to become an agent? Question mark.
I mean, anytime's bad time to be an agent. Why would you want to be a real estate agent? I mean, if you've got choices, I would not become a real estate agent. I would become an investor. I would start with wholesaling. Wholesaling is going to open so many doors for you to do other things. Always be. I mean, I've been a wholesaler for 21 years now since I started, and I will never not be a wholesaler because a wholesaler is just one exit strategy that provides me really fast cash without having to do anything to the property. Like I will always be that person because I am an acquisition person. I generate leads. Ideally, I do something with the home run leads, keep it, flip it, whatever. And everything else that's a single, double, or triple, I wholesale, make a big assignment fee as big as I can. I make a lot of active income upfront every month. That income is excessive, meaning I have more than enough to meet my needs. So I have money to reinvest into other things. So like it's the ultimate business model.
It is. It's the golden ticket. Like as long as assigning deals are legal in your state, it's just the golden ticket. You reduce risk to almost zero. You get to find unbelievable opportunities all the time. You get to recycle your money and you get to take down the ones that you want to take down. You get to scratch that itch if you want to do flips like Jerry, and we'll do a few here and there throughout the year just because it makes sense. Or we'll just close on it, do the takedown method and flip it on the market. You know what I mean? You'll do all those things. But if you have the ability to assign and it's just, you have to follow the law and disclose, you have to have the ability to close on those purchases. Man, it is just the best. It is the absolute best. But I think it's really important because a lot of people get confused. And I was very confused, Jerry. There's a big difference between having a real estate license and being a real estate agent.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Agency involves you actually sign paperwork with a homeowner or somebody that wants to buy a home, either a seller or a buyer. And once that agency happens, that's when you become an agent. You represent them. You have fiduciary duty to them to put their best interest at the top of the way that you work. All right. It is different than having a real estate license and making offers on properties as a buyer. You're not representing yourself. You're not representing the person. There is no agency involved there. Okay. So if you're like, well, I have to get a real estate license in my state to be able to wholesale properties. Great. That doesn't mean you need to be a realtor. It doesn't mean you need to be a real estate agent. And so that's very confusing if you're not from this world, because, even people that should know, don't know in this world. And so it's,
Here's what I think about, Brent. If you know better, like if you know the difference, the reason why someone would become a wholesaler and someone who would become an agent is because both get paid a fee in a transaction. That's a wholesaler. That's a real estate agent. Why do some become agents and one become wholesalers? Well, wholesalers is very entrepreneurial. You're a business owner. You're an investor. It's a low risk investing because you're not owning the property usually. But when you're an agent, you are a very low risk individual. You do not want to take on any risk, and you're willing to make a whole lot less money because, let's face it, you make more wholesaling per transaction than you do being an agent usually, unless you're some kind of high-end agent. But generally speaking, you're going to make a lot more money being a wholesaler than you will an agent, which is part of the reason why agents hate wholesalers, because agents feel like they have to go through all of this work, all of this licensing, all of this oversight. And here's these wholesalers that are a bunch of cowboys making a bunch of money that they can't make that much, right? So like, why? If you're going to choose, I would go down the route of business owner, entrepreneur, and wholesaling is going to open the door to becoming a real investor. Whereas an agent is just representing buyers and sellers. You're not really moving in the direction of investor.
Yeah, listen, it depends on what your passion is. Depends on what you want to do. If you love the idea of representing people and helping them buy and sell houses and earn commissions from that, go bananas. That's the world that I came from. You know what I mean? I have spoke to some of the top brokerages in Arizona and told them all I think that they're crazy for not having at least a cash offer strategy for their business. And they just love representing people. They just love, they want to go in.
You want to know what's funny,
do the presentation and win. Yeah.
You want to know what's funny though? If I were to ever be an agent, like a full-time agent, like a real agent, I would make $1 million a year, because I would apply the principles I use in wholesaling as a real estate agent, which agents don't do. Agents are the worst marketers. They're the worst. They don't even know how to follow up. They don't even answer their phone half the time. They don't really know business. There's a reason why agents are so bad at what they do, because they just don't treat it like we treat wholesaling. If they treated their agent model like we treat wholesaling, they would make way more money than they make.
Yep. It's a great question. Vascolo. Nice. Jerry, is wholesale hotline on pause? Guys, the guys are going to 150 cities in 150 days. You know what I mean? Pace and Jamil are out and about. They're doing their thing. They're focused on bringing essentially what we do on Mondays to people in real life. So yeah, for right now, it's on pause. We should have made an announcement or whatever else, but guys, we show up on Mondays and we just do the show. It's something that we love to do. And I love doing these Wednesday shows. So you see Jerry on here, you'll see Jerry out and about with Pace and Jamil and everything there. We love the hotline, but if you want to get access, go see him in person. Go see him in person, which is, the people in my Rhino tribe, my mentorship, are going and they're loving it, and they're connecting with everybody in Sub 2 and Astro and Jerry's, and it's just phenomenal. So definitely go check that out. But it's those guys are doing something that's never been done before. I mean, this is bananas. They're incredible. Like a rock and roll band. I mean, it's insane. They're like Taylor Swift out there. You know what I mean? Maybe they're going to go to Europe next. Who knows?
They're getting 500, 700 people at some of these. It's nuts.
Yep. Oh, this is great. So we talked about this ability to close, ability and means to close. How do I get around this if I'm a beginning wholesaler, no money yet? How do I handle this? What should I know to not shoot myself in the foot? LOL. Number one, you could squat up with somebody that does have the money. You can squat up with somebody that's experienced in this, and that's the best way to do that. They have the ability to close on those deals, and they'll work with you and you partner with them, and that's a great strategy. Number two, get transactional funding. Transactional funding gives you 100% of the purchase to be able to purchase that property. Okay, talk to hard money lenders in your market. You can get at least 90% of it covered if you don't go the transactional funding route. Or the last one, major theory, is go in telling them, I am a wholesale buyer. I am not the end buyer for this property. I'm going to put this property under contract, and then I'm going to put it out to my private network of investors, and I'm going to see if they want to buy this property. If they do, I'll let you know, and we'll move forward. Anything else, Jerry?
I mean, I would just say, learn what they want you to do in your market, whatever market you're transacting in. Take the time, learn what the laws are, learn what the regulations are. So a lot of it's easy to do. It's just a compliance thing, or, it's a wording thing in your contract. Some of it's licensing, some of it's other things, but take the time to learn how to transact. Guys, if you treat something like a business, then your number one thing is to become compliant in that industry. Like all industries that are worth their weight in gold, or if you're going to really do a business, you're going to learn all the things that you should do and shouldn't do. And this is just part of that. Like, just take the time to learn. I've got a ton of videos on it. Brent covers a lot about this. Just learn what you can and can't do and get good at it.
That's right. Mr. Banana Man 4327. Jerry, remember my name? You put me on this wholesaling thing. Now I'm a part of a team. I can't wait to shake your hand.
Very cool, Banana Man.
Here you go. You get one of these, Banana Man.
I'm going to remember Banana Man. If someone comes up to me and says, I'm Mr. Banana Man, I'm going to be like, I remember you.
Yeah, that's awesome. Mr. Banana Man. So people call me that because I always say that's bananas. I've had people just leave bananas at my office, Jerry.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah. That's how, when I first met you, that's how I instantly resonated. Like, Brent Daniels is the bananas guy.
Yeah. Brian, I went from 35K to 40K a year managing a quick lube. I have a GED and some college for automotive repair. I've been a full-time wholesaler for 5 years. The last 3 years, we've grossed $600,000 to $700,000. Do it. For that, you know what? I'm going to do a double thing. First, I'm going to give a bell ring. And then I'm going to do a little bit of applause.
Do you have a bananas? Like, what noise does a banana make?
I think you just say, that's bananas.
Yeah, that's bananas.
Well, that's it, Jerry. We've had an incredible show. Thank you guys for hanging out. It's been almost 2 hours, which is really exciting. Guys, join me on Wednesdays. We should be doing this every Wednesday. I'll be bringing on different guests. I've got on the 17th, I'm going to bring on RJ Bates. Next week might just be me, might be somebody else. And I'll bring Jerry on as often as he's available.
Yeah.
Because this
anytime,
is
Brent. Love doing this with you.
Awesome, guys. So, guys, make sure you guys check out Warm Leads Daily. Warm Leads Daily. It's 200 leads for $500. Make sure that you're checking out the prop wire. And you have a Dispo one. Dispo with Jerry.
Oh, that's where we'll JV. We'll JV with people. Yeah, it's dispowithjerry.com. And that's just the portal where you can upload your deal and we'll dispo your deal.
Yep.
Yeah.
And guys, I'm telling you, so just another break. I'll let you go, Jerry, and I'll just recap the my numbers, but great to see you.
Awesome. Yep. Thanks, Brent. See you guys.
Hey, buddy. Love Jerry Norton. Guys, again, at the top of the hour, I talked about the results that my company has had for 2025. We are at $2,044,449 for the year. That is between wholesaling and some flips there. I have a 2x return on direct mail. I spent $143,000, made $281,000. On PPC, we have a 4x return. We spent $405,000, made $1.6 million, just over $1.6 million. The one that I'm really excited, guys, it's scrolling across the bottom right here. It is a one-time setup for optimizing your Google My Business account. If you are a local business and you don't have your Google My Business already optimized, it is a huge mistake. Go to this link, talktopeople.com. Put it in the comments, Luke, if you could. And then we'll put it in the comments after for people watching this. But get it set up now. It is oceanfront property. Whoever gets there and keeps it active is going to dominate. I spent $0. Now you're going to have to spend something setting it up. I'm going to tell you this. It's not just something that we're going to set up for free type of thing. But you're going to spend something on setting this thing up. But we made $93,000 so far after optimizing it. And it cost me $0 a month to maintain it. It only cost me my time and attention of getting these new, all of the reviews, the Google reviews that we get, which is fine because we're closing multiple deals every single week. And so we're getting those Google reviews. It's boosting it up. It's making it even better, but you can do this and get it set up, and you get it set up, optimized in your area. You show up in the top 1 or 2 spots in the map when people are searching on their phones or on a laptop. in the areas. This is the crazy thing. It's in the areas that you work in. So it actually tracks where people are. So you want to target these specific areas where you're doing a bunch of business and show up when people go on their phone for sell my house fast, sell it for cash offer for my homes, all those sell my house without a real estate agent. You want to show up for those in the areas that you want to buy. You're going to be 1 or 2. That's what it means to optimize the Google My Business in there. And then it stays there. It's crazy. So definitely check that out. And yeah, that's it. That's it for the show. My name is Brent Daniels. I love you guys. Remember this: keep your house clean, protect your health, and increase your value to the world. You'll live a fantastic life. We'll see you next week. See you.